How we doing today, guys? It's Jesse with the Common Man Corpus Christi, bringing you news and politics through a common sense lens. And boy, do we have a whopper of an report from Project Veritas. Now, the video was released on YouTube last night around 8 or 9 o'clock. It's about a 7.5 minute video. I highly recommend you go and watch it. Because they give some very great specifics, but Red State did a really good job of reviewing the video and giving kind of a little short rundown on it, so if you don't want to have or don't have time to go watch the whole video, but if you've got time to watch this, you should probably go watch his video too. Anyway, but watch this video first, so that way you don't have to go read the Red State article. There you go. Update, and this is from January 11th, 2022 at 3 a.m. is when they wrote this. I believe the update has happened since then. Update, U.S. military report states COVID-19 was created by a U.S.-funded EcoHealth Alliance program at Wuhan Institute of Virology. Oh, doggies. Remember all that stuff we got kicked off Facebook and all that other kind of stuff a while back for talking about, ooh, the lab leak, that's a conspiracy theory. Well, now we've got documents to say otherwise. Oh, look, there's Dr. Peter Daszak, with president of EcoHealth Alliance. And who's that standing next to him? Oh, that's right. That's Tony. Oh, yes. Here we go. Update at 4:45 a.m. Eastern. Major Joseph Murphy's report has been posted in its entirety by Project Veritas and can be read at this link. And that's what this looks like over here. And so we'll get into what all that talks about. All right, here we go. As we previously reported on Monday night, Project Veritas released a new report announcing that they had obtained U.S. military documents proving that Dr. Anthony Fauci had lied to Congress, and more specifically, never-before-seen documents regarding the origins of COVID-19, gain-of-function research, vaccines, potential treatments which have been suppressed, and the government's effort to conceal all of this. One document, an August 13, 2021, report on Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, remember that name, DARPA. Letterhead from the Commandant of the Marine Corps Fellow, DARPA, to the Inspector General of the Department of Defense carries the subject line, SARS-CoV-2 Origins Investigations with U.S. Government Program Undisclosed Document Analysis. The analysis reports that the 2018 EcoHealth Alliance Coronavirus Research Proposal that DARPA rejected because it was too risky and likely violated the gain-of-function research ban, was then funded by NIH NIAID. That's the National Institute of Health. Those are Fauci's groups. And carried out that SARS-CoV-2, aka COVID-19, resulted from that research and escaped in August of 2019, folks. August of 2019. The more explosive parts of the report were not narrated by O'Keefe, but were in the screenshots shown. While only one full page was shown in the Project Veritas video, screenshots from other portions of the report were shown as well. Here's one of them, but like I said, they released the whole thing now, the whole statement online. All right. In the video, Project Veritas identifies the author as Marine Corps Major Joseph Murphy, then Commandant, Marine Corps Fellow at DARPA. According to his LinkedIn page, Major Murphy is now at the Office of Naval Research. Makes sense, logical next step after DARPA. After the date, the two from the subject line and a list of attachments, the first page of the memo reads. All right, now here's things are going to get wild. Now remember, this is from a leaked DARPA document, written by this Major Murphy. So that's where this is coming from, all right? Remember, talk to your doctor. SARS-CoV-2 is an American-created recombinant bat vaccine, or its precursor virus. It was created by EcoHealth Alliance program at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, WIV. As suggested by the reporting surrounding the lab leak hypothesis, the details of this program have been concealed since the pandemic began. These details can be found in the EcoHealth Alliance proposal response to the DARPA Preempt Program Broad Agency Announcement, dated March 2018, a document not yet publicly disclosed. The contents of the proposed program are extremely detailed. Peter Daszak lays out step by step what the organization intends to do by phase and by location. The primary scientists involved, their roles, and their institutions are indicated. The funding plan for the Wuhan Institute of Virology work is its own document. The reasons why non-pharmaceutical interventions like masks and medical countermeasures like the mRNA vaccines do not work well, remember, talk to your doctor, can be extrapolated from the details. The reason why the early treatment protocols work as curatives are apparent. SARS-CoV-2's form as it emerged is likely as a precursor. Deliberately virulent, humanized recombinant SARS-CoV that was to be reverse engineered into a live attenuated SARS-CoV bat vaccine. Its nature can be determined from analysis of its genome with the context provided by the EcoHealth Alliance proposal. Joining this analysis with the U.S. intelligence collections on Wuhan will aid this determination. Holy crap. So what it sounds like to me, my interpretation of what he's saying there is it sounds like they were trying to create a vaccine for bats to prevent them from spreading COVID viruses, and the virus that they were playing with in order to do that got out. That's what it sounds like. Murphy then goes into the rejection by DARPA and claims that the proposal was actually funded by NIAID, and that work began on the project. DARPA rejected the proposal because the work was too close to violating the gain-of-function moratorium, despite what Peter Daszak says in the proposal that the work would not. As is known, Dr. Fauci with NIAID did not reject the proposal. He did not reject the proposal. The work took place at the Wuhan Institute of Virology and at several sites in the U.S., identified in detail in the proposal. Holy crap. Drastic, the group initially posted EcoHealth Alliance's DARPA proposal online, reported that EcoHealth Alliance's proposal envisioned grant money paying half of the WIV scientist's Dr. Shi Zheng's salary for 3 years. That might have been a problem for DARPA too. Drastic independently assessed that the tone of the proposal, see for instance that our cave complex, and the deep suggested involvement of some of the WIV parties Shi Zhengling employed half-time for 3 years, pay via the grant, and invited to DARPA headquarters at Arlington, may not have helped either, especially in the absence of any DIRC risk mitigation program. I have no idea what DIRC stands for. The work resulted in the creation of SARS-CoV-WIV, or what we now know as SARS-CoV-2, according to the report. SARS-CoV-2 hereafter, referred to as SARS-CoV-WIV, Wuhan Institute of Virology, is a synthetic spike protein chimera engineered to attach to human ACE2 receptors and inserted into recombinant bat SARS-CoV backbone. It is likely a live vaccine not yet engineered to more attenuated state that the program sought to create with its final version. It leaked and spread rapidly because it was aerosolized so that it could efficiently infect bats in caves. Aerosolized. But it was not ready to infect bats yet, which is why it does not appear to infect bats. The reason the disease is so confusing is because it is less a virus than it is engineered spike proteins hitchhiking a ride on the SARS-CoV-2 quasi-species swarm. The closer it is to the final live attenuated vaccine form, the more likely it is that it had been de-attenuating since initial escape in August 2019. Wow. This affects the efficacy of the mRNA vaccines, as Murphy report states. Now remember, this is Murphy saying this, at least according to this leaked document that Project Veritas has independently confirmed. The gene-encoded, or mRNA, vaccines work poorly because they are synthetic replications of an already synthetic SARS-CoV-WIV synthetic spike protein and possess no other epitopes. The mRNA instructs the cells to produce synthetic copies of the SARS-CoV Wuhan Institute of Virology synthetic spike protein directly into the bloodstream, wherein they spread and produce the same ACE2 immune storm that the recombinant vaccines does. Many doctors in the country have identified that the symptoms of the vaccine's reactions mirror the symptoms of the disease, which corroborates with similar synthetic nature and function of the respective spike proteins. The vaccine recipients has no defense against the bloodstream entry, but their nose protects them from the recombinant spike protein quasi-species during natural infection, better termed as aerosolized inoculation. Holy crap. All right, now remember, we're about to talk about some medications. Always go talk to your doctor. If he can't give you straight answers, find another doctor. Get a second opinion. Hell, get a third opinion. It doesn't hurt. This is your life we're talking about, okay? This isn't something to play around with. COVID-19 is not a joke. It's killed a lot of people. So always go talk to your doctor. All right, the report carries on. Regarding ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine, the much maligned treatments for COVID-19. Ivermectin, identified as a curative in April of 2020, Okay, remember how long ago that was? It's like the month after we really started freaking out over COOF. Works throughout all phases of illness because it both inhibits viral replication and modulates the immune response. Of note, chloroquine phosphate, i.e. hydroxychloroquine, identified in April 2020 as a curative, is identified in the proposal as a SARS-CoV inhibitor, as is interferon, identified May 2020 as a curative. So according to Murphy, the U.S. government identified ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and interferon as curatives for COVID-19 in April and May of 2020. Yet pharmacists are still not filling prescriptions for them in January of 2022. Why? Who made the decision to essentially sentence over 800,000 Americans to death? I mean, there's a lot of people dead in the United States from this. All of this information about the proposed research and all the experiments that had already taken place, and which were denied by Fauci, Daszak, and every scientist that they could coerce or threaten, was readily available in EcoHealth Alliance's response to the preempt BAA, which should have been an unclassified, publicly available document. Right? Right. However, the document was somehow placed in a top secret share drive, according to Murphy's report. So see, that's where a lot of this is coming in. That's why we should have had these documents all along, but somebody accidentally slipped them into a classified folder. Sure, guys. All right, let's carry on. However, the document, the EcoHealth Alliance response to the preempt BAA is placed along with other proposal documents in the preempt folder on the DARPA Biological Technologies Office, JWICS, top secret, share drive, address, Was it a cover-up? More from Murphy's report. A technological challenge as difficult as inoculating bats in China would be tried at DARPA first. The massive Manhattan Project level of information suppression executed by the government and the Trusted News Initiative indicates that it would be covered up if something bad happened. The lab leak hypothesis and squabbling between Senator Paul and Dr. Fauci indicated that the cover-up was more localized. Further, an actual cover-up would be more disciplined with its paperwork. Fair. So I presumed that the unclassified files would be concealed on a higher network and found them where I expected them to be. I understood that they were what they were, and that their content pushed the files off-site and compiled this report. Interestingly, Murphy's fellowship at DARPA ended in August 2021. If what we know so far about Murphy's report is correct, there should be or should have been correspondent documents at NIH. Given what has happened since the research reportedly stated, it wouldn't be surprising if these documents met shredders and the bleach bit. But knowing the cast of characters involved, it also wouldn't be surprising if they all kept some kind of leverage document to point the finger of blame elsewhere. What did the Department of Defense Inspector General do with Murphy's report? What else did it contain? Hopefully there will be follow-up reporting from Project Veritas. That is wild, guys. Absolutely wild. So this is the JAG document. I'm not going to go through and read this whole thing. You can see Veritas has got their little logo on it so nobody can rip it off. But yeah, I think it's at least 2, 3, 4 pages. Yeah, it's pretty long. So if you want to go check that out, I'll put the link to this on the Facebook page and on the MeWe page, or on my personal pages as well. You guys can track me down, Jesse Carlson, Jess1386 on Twitter. I will put links for all of that in there. And then this is Project Veritas's video. I have posted this on my own page, my own personal Facebook page, and on Twitter as well. So if you guys want to look that go check those out. But yeah, guys, they've known about the early treatments since at least April of 2022. All of this information should have been publicly available, and it wasn't. Somehow it accidentally slipped onto a classified drive. So basically, I don't hate to say we told you so at this point, but anybody out there that's listening to this that hasn't been following COVID like we have and been following the numbers and paying attention to all this stuff from the very beginning, we knew all of this was basically true. But the nice part about it is we are being justified now. All of us that were crazy conspiracy theorists before, we now have evidence, government documents showing that we were right. Now the real question is, what's going to happen with this information? There needs to be hearings, and there needs to be hearings soon. Hopefully, if not within this year, hopefully next year after we take back the House and the Senate. But there needs to be serious Nuremberg-style hearings on this stuff, because these people knew there was things that could help, and they stood by and did nothing, and they lied about it, and they covered it all up. This is horrendous. This is unconscionable, and people need to go to prison. People need to be called before Congress. They need to answer for their crimes, and they need to be locked up with the key thrown away. That's just my common sense take. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think about this, and make sure you go check out those videos and read the documents for yourself. Don't take my opinion on it. Look at it for yourself. Always do your own research. This is Jesse with the Common Man Corpus Christi, bringing you news and politics through a common sense lens. Thanks, guys.